Well, here we are again, back. I guess part 2 of the welder plasma cutter unboxing combo from Eastwood. You can tell it's the same day, still got the same shirt on. I'm not that lazy. One thing I didn't get to in the last video, kind of told you why I went with the combo, and but I didn't tell you why I went with Eastwood. I read a lot of crap about Eastwood stuff. I mean, I guess it's hit or miss, but it's like that everywhere with every product. As you know, I had a Harbor Freight welder. I don't know how much crap I've heard about Harbor Freight and their junk and their shit, and you know, the keyboard warriors online like to, you know, nothing's good unless it's top of the line. Your car sucks unless it has a Pro line in it, you know, but they're sitting in a double wide fucking working on the first Mac PC that was ever made. So I don't care. It's what works for me. I loved my Harbor Freight dual MIG welder. I'm looking over it so I can remember the name of it. It was pretty much Old Faithful to me. It did everything I needed to do until the day it kicked the bucket. And as you can see, I haven't thrown it out. It's still sitting over there because I think it's a great welder. Maybe I can fix it one day. Probably not. That's why I bought this, and this will probably replace its spot. I probably still won't throw it out though. It's probably got some, I can probably do something with it, or I'll actually probably give it to somebody. Here you go, here's a free welder. Take it and see why, you know, see what it needs to be fixed. It's, if you get it for free, if it costs you 150 bucks, it's a $150 welder. So Eastwood, went with Eastwood because if you've ever used any of their products, I know everybody has, there's always a bad product. You know, when you make as much as these guys do, they're gonna get a bad product. I read all the stuff on the forums. It's rebranded crap. It's from China. It's this, it's that. You know what? Show me something that's not from China. In fact, I did. I showed you those stampings over there on the car, the sheet metal I'm gonna put on the car. And you know what? I paid for them. I paid good money for them. I'm not willing or in the position to pay good money for a welder. So therefore, Eastwood's my kind of company, just like Harbor Freight was. So I went and I checked out all their stuff, and I saw a ton of reviews by Eastwood. It's like nobody bought this stuff, or if they did, they didn't review it. So I'm going to review it. I'm actually doing an unboxing now. When I start using it on the car, I'm going to review it. But the big reason I went with Eastwood, and as crappy of a reason as this is I told you this is a budget build, and I wanted to stick to a budget. So I got the welder and the plasma cutter for $1,085, I believe it was, delivered to my door. Oh, I know, and I had my first video where I said I don't want to spend more than $1,000. Well, here's the caveat. I was able to put it on this thing called Affirm. I believe that's the name of it, where it's essentially you buy it on credit. Great thing, I've bought parts like that before for other builds. So technically this stuff cost me $21 a week for the next year. Yeah, there's a little bit of interest in there, but you know what, for a guy on a budget, you know what that allowed me to do? It allowed me to buy the American made good steel to go on the car. It gave me that flexibility. Is it a trade-off? Some may say, hell yeah it is, you should have just saved up. But you know what, saving up for me is not the easiest thing, because I have a bad habit of spending money, to be totally honest with you. But you know what, I made that old crappy welder work for almost 14 years. I'm pretty sure I can make this, which is probably leaps and bounds over that, last for at least 15. And if I can do that, $1,000 and the plasma cutter, $1,000 was well spent. Because you know what, the money I saved by putting this on credit bought me sheet metal that's going to last 40-50 years, and to me that's a good buy. And if you don't think so, put it in the comments and we can discuss it. But you know, I'm trying to build a project, I'm trying to get it done. I can sit here, this thing's not going to sit here for the next 5 years being built. It's going to get built, it's going to get built on a budget, and it's going to get built the way I want to build it. So bash me for it, whatever, but you know what, when mine's running and yours isn't, we'll talk. So anyways, I'm going to open this box up because I haven't opened this one up yet. I actually just thought of something. kind of to get back to the, this lifestyle of hot rodding and building things. This knife, I didn't even think about it till I don't know why I actually just thought about it. I was given this knife right here by an old school hot rodder that I used to know by the name of Billy. Old Man Bill, we used to call him. Worked with him for a lot of years, and he retired. And before he retired, he gave me some things, and he gave me this knife. And so, Old Man Bill, if you're watching, I know you're out in California now, working on some cool stuff and racing at salt flats. I still got the knife, and I'm using it, as you can see. So, thank you, brother. Again, instructions. We got some rod, stick rod, and it looks to be 5601, I believe. A knob looks to be to the gas. Spool of undisclosed wire. I don't know if that's a good start or a bad start. Regulator, not bad. I mean, not the greatest thing. It's got a little bit of weight to it, but and it passed QC by inspector number 2. So inspector number 2, if it fails, it's your fault. Oh, again. I'm just surprised at how it wasn't that heavy. Which is another little cool feature about this welder I'll get to. Alrighty, so let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit. I apologize for the camera angles and the crappy overhead view, but not doing video and deciding that, hey, I'm going to start a channel and a Facebook and pretty much vlogging. You use what you got. So camera's up on literally on an old school ashtray stand. I don't know, some people might not even know what this is. Here, I just got to show you this. So that is literally what my camera is sitting on. I mean, I'm not that old. I guess I'm getting up there in age, but I mean, early to mid 40s. I wouldn't expect to be too old, but I can honestly say there's probably people who've never seen one of those, and I can remember them being in people's houses. It's next to the, again, a little hint of where I'm from, the Chesterfield, ashing their cigarettes into them. So I just happened to find one of those at a flea market. Welder, obviously. It is a 240 welder. I have 240 in my garage. My old welder was a 240. My air compressor was a 240. So that was one nice thing about this. When I was looking at it, I got the 240 version, which should make it nice. One thing, where the hell did I put my knife now? Ah, there it is. One thing I was going to say that I was going to mention later was this is an inverter welder, which means if this thing ever goes to the track, I can take this and run it off a generator. How big of a generator, I don't know yet, because I just got it and have to look into it, but if I had to guess, probably 3,500, I bet. A standard track generator. But it'd be cool. I can bring my welder to the track and fix anything I break, because I have a bad habit of breaking things too. So what's in the box? Kind of like what's in the barn. I highly doubt Daryl Walker's watching, but hey, if you are, love your show. Looks like just some MIG tips, some hoods, some tungstens. Just to give you some. And that is going to be a gas line. Stick handle. Not horrible. 16 millimeter cord. It's got some decent weight to it. I don't know if I like that. That was tungsten rolling around inside it. So here's my MIG torch. Not the greatest, but I mean it'll do. The one complaint I've heard about this is you have to turn the gas on here and shut the gas off. I mean, that's how it works. There's no pedal. You turn the gas on, wait for it to flow, strike up your arc and go. Kind of is what it is there. Saw me looking around for a minute there, probably wondering what the hell I was doing. Well, I opened up all these boxes and I'm like, where the hell is my MIG torch? Well, I think somebody at Eastwood has a great sense of humor. Thank you for giving me a little heart attack, thinking that I didn't get it. But yeah, look at what they did. They buried it up inside of here. So that's got to be their little inside joke at Eastwood. At Easton, I keep saying Easton. I don't know why. Eastwood. Kind of a little mess. Nice brass O-ringed fittings. Yep, and we knocked something onto the ground. Luckily, it was just my ground cord. Some nice it has some nice stippling on there. You're probably not going to be able to pick it up on this handle. I have a bad habit of welding without a glove on. I don't know why. Glove for punishment, I guess. But so it's kind of nice. It's kind of like I'd say, it kind of feels like my Walther. If that gives anybody an indication of what that feels like. Again, decent. I mean, am I not impressed? No. Do I think I got what I paid for? So far, yes. Again, it's gonna come down to how it works, right? So, as in the last video, I'm going to put this together, bring you on down here, give you a kind of a close-up of the machine and what we have here. Again, this is just an unboxing. You're going to see it in use a lot, so I'll bring you down, show you what I got, and we'll go from there. Here we go. Come on down. You're not going to win anything though. So you have wire feed, amperage, voltage, and spot timer. With a digital display where you can actually fine-tune your amperage and wire speed, which is really nice. You can run a spool gun on this. MIG is down, stick TIG is in the middle, spool gun up top. This spot, well, I was turning around there to tell you about this spot timer feature, and the camera died. Filled up the SIM card, had to go and take some of the videos off it. So I was talking about this spot timer feature. It's kind of a cool little feature. I don't know if it's a big selling point. Maybe if you're doing perfect restorations, but if you're doing those, you're probably not doing them with this machine. So the concept behind it is you can get your weld, the amperage and the wire speed down, and set the time to repeat it every time. So you can get a perfect rosette, perfect spot weld every time, repeatable, with some decency, I'm gonna say, because I see a little flaw in that. And guys like me and you who are doing this, we're not welding perfect steel together. We're welding things like that together. So even with great prep, I mean, I'm gonna have brand new panels, I'm gonna grind behind them, I'm gonna take the rust off. There's gonna be some variations in the metal. So I can get a spot, you know, perfect nice little spot weld down, run it, get it down, you know, on a test panel, which is probably gonna be 2 good pieces of, you know, 18 gauge steel, which this car is. Get them all dialed in nice, and then start running spots all the way down. But the metal that's on this car could be thicker and thinner in spots from deterioration from the back and rust from the back. So I like the concept. We're gonna see if it actually works. It'll be nice, you know, to get a nice even consistency in the spot welds, make them clean up nice and make them look factory original, because you know that's always nice, especially if you're trying to go for that look. So we'll see. I mean, it's a nice little feature of this machine. The big selling feature on this machine, like I said in the past video, I think it was in my plasma video, was that it would do up to 1/4 inch steel is what this will weld, and the plasma will only do 1/8. If they made a 175 MIG with a 40 plasma, I'd buy that all day long. That is the package that Eastwood needs to put together. But this is good, you know. It'll do 1/4 inch. I don't think I'll ever need to weld 1/4 inch plate, even on my frame stuff. Most frames are, you know, 3/8. 3/8, what the hell am I talking about? 1/8 inch, a little bit thicker. I'm not doing any heavy plate work, so you know, this welder should be good. This should do the job. I mean, I am not unhappy with it. Again, and you know, haven't even used it. Just unboxed it for you guys. Let me get this around. Open it up. Here's a little setup guide. Now how well you're going to be able to see that. It says it'll do up to 3/8. We're going to find out. I'll even test that out. You can change polarity. There's your this. Little rundown. I mean, get this over here so I can set it straight, get the camera straight here. Plug in the back and gas. Should be a decent little machine. We'll see. I mean, only time can tell. You know, we won't know until we start using it, which will be soon. Hopefully, maybe not this weekend. And my weekends are not what everybody else's weekends are, so just some quick videos, guys. I mean, I'm going to try to keep everybody up to date, what I buy, what I do. I actually just bought, I jumped on it, I've been watching it and waiting it on eBay. I see it just shipped today from Minnesota, but I just bought a 48 through 52 1-ton Chevy solid axle for this thing. Was listed up on a guy on eBay. He's got a ton of stuff, and so that's what this car is getting. I asked him for some measurements. He had 53 and up, and he had up to 52. I bought the up to 52 one. Looks like the kingpins are going to match up. The width is almost the same, and it's got a 4-inch drop on the axle. So I'm hoping, and we're going to find out. We're going to see how my calculating goes here, but I'm hoping I can use the axles that are, sorry, the spindles that are in this car already with the kingpins in that 1-ton straight axle that's from a 1-ton Chevy up to 52. So it's going to be interesting. And then I'll probably buy some Speedway springs and a hanger kit and start welding up, making brackets. I could go vintage springs and everything, but I don't really see a point in that. That's just asking for problems. And I'm gonna make some steering components and we'll go from there. Hopefully I'm gonna try to reuse the steering that's in here because it's kind of cool. Let me show it to you. Steers from the center. So if I can make that pickup point in the center and go over, that'd be really cool. But again, like I said, I'll do, get off on tangents. That's the welders, that's the plasma cutter. Hope you liked the video. Again, those were just unboxings. So far, I'm not unhappy with my purchase. I think it's looks like some nice equipment for what I paid, and hopefully it outperforms its price. That's the key. If it outperforms its price, it was a good buy. And I know some people are going to say, with about a statement I made earlier about, well, the money I saved by putting this on that plan allowed me to buy this. And I know I didn't really save any money, but I kind of did because I didn't have to put it out. In my mind, that's saving money for something else. You know, semantics, but it is what it is. Stay tuned, guys. I hope you like what you're seeing. I'm going to try to document as much of it as I can. I'm going to get my 12-year-old son in here, Logan, get him off the Xbox, get him doing this stuff. He's been messing with cars with me since he was probably, I don't know, 2 years old. If you see the picture of my Packard that I had with him standing on the running board, that's him. And he's seen so many cars going in and out of here, it's crazy. Stay tuned, throw some comments down, hit the like button, let me know what you want to see. If you want to see an actual process or something that I'm doing, let me know. I'll put everything up, every tool, everything I do. I'm gonna document it for you and kind of make it, you know, something for everybody, a little learning tool for everybody. That, go to the Facebook page, South Detroit Customs, and join it, like it, start putting your content up there. Let's see what you guys are building. Let's see, maybe you got some tips and tricks. If you do, show them to me, send me a video, I'll throw them up there. I'll put them up. It's going to be a page for everybody. It's starting a new little custom hot rod building, I don't even know what you call it. Group, I guess it's a group. So I stumble on my words and get caught up sometimes because my mind just moves 1,000 miles a minute, but I appreciate it. Stay tuned, stay fast. Specs on the welders, guys, just like I did on plasma. Little additional, in case you're wondering.